I thank you.
I recognize Senator Kevin Herrera.
Madam President, I rise to make a few remarks on the motion on a proposed George Price holiday and that will be celebrated on January 15th and the proposed Emancipation Day on August 1st. Madam President, most people like holidays. Most, if not all, including myself, would find it very difficult to quarrel with a special day or a public and bank holiday for Mr. Price. Because like my colleague said previously, the man really did a lot in his country in terms of sacrifices, in terms of leading the country to independence. In fact, many countries celebrate the, the person who led the country to independence, celebrate their birthday as a holiday. It's also difficult to quarrel with a day that is celebrated as a public and bank holiday, as Emancipation Day on August the 1st, given the terrible and immoral savagery of slavery and remembering all the long road that we had come from. The problem, Madam President, is the cost, the lead time, and the process for declaring these holidays. The business community takes the brunt of this. We're still in the throes of the effects of COVID-19 and the effects of the two hurricanes, Eta and Lota, last year. It's been a tough year for business, extremely, extremely tough year for business. I know that the present administration has reached out to the business community on several occasions in terms of trying to talk to us about how they can address certain issues, but I would not think that the feedback they've gotten from us would be that we need an additional holiday to pay for another unproductive day. Many sectors are earning virtually zero. I think about the tourism sector, the local airlines, the airport taxis, tour guides, and then many products such as beer, soft drinks. Yesterday evening I was listening on the news where the dairy producers were saying that sales have been down, and how they go about not so that they don't have to dump all this product is they're making extra cheese, but there's only so much that the local population can consume. And so it has been difficult, Madam President, extremely difficult. Just to try to weather the storm, the business community has been taking on debts, debts that will affect its competitiveness for the next 4 to 6 years. This is not a struggle that we brought on, it's something that we have to deal with. And we are dealing with it. But we want to impress on the government that try not to make this struggle a little more difficult than it needs to be. Holidays really don't help the situation right now. But this is what we have in these holidays. We will lose production, like I said, and for those sectors that most must work, they will need to increase costs. For example, If you have 100 employees and you need them to work on that day, it's like paying 150 employees for the day because you have to pay them time and a half. In my sector, the BPO sector, we pay twice the rate. So if I have 100 or 200, if I have 200 agents, it's like paying 400 persons to work a day, but I need to do that because I'm working for foreign clients. I cannot tell them that I'll close for a day because they need service and we've contracted to provide these services. Just to outline how bad this is, Madam Speaker, with respect to an additional designation of holidays, actually 2 holidays, and I heard Senator Pitts mention that the Gazette does not include October 12th as a holiday, but the motion is not saying that. The motion is saying that it's still on the table, and so that might be a holiday as well. So we're talking about 2 additional holidays. But no, January will have 2 holidays. May, 2 holidays. April has 3 holidays. September has 2 holidays. And December has 2 holidays. Almost half of the months in a year has at least 2 holidays. Again, this type of situation, Madam President, really does not help the private sector competitiveness in the least. And we have to compete every day. We have to compete with businesses in Central America. We have to compete with businesses in the Caribbean. It is really something that we have to look at closely. And I'm not even taking into account other days. We have 16 sick days that are unproductive. Employees can utilize 16 days of sick days. In addition, there's another 10 days vacation day, at least 10 days vacation day. Where are we here? 30, 40 days? Possible days that are unproductive. Madam President, these types of concerns could have been ventilated had the government elect to consult with us through the tripartite process. There's a tripartite body which is the mechanism to ventilate these types of issues. So I've stated what the problem is, the difficulty for us, Madam President. I also want to propose an amendment, perhaps, to the Holiday Act that can help us address some of these issues. Firstly, I'd like to propose that no newly enacted holiday can come into effect or have payroll implications for a period of 365 days after they've been declared. Again, this will help companies who have already gone through the budgetary process to plan for these extra costs. That's the only reason why we'd have this type of notice period. Secondly, we'd like a ceiling on these holidays. If we're looking at 2 additional holidays this year, and still include the October 12th, we'd be looking at 15 holidays. If the October 12th, like what Senator Pitts mentioned, is not included, then there are 14 days. We would like to ask that there's a ceiling at least 14 holidays, not more than 14 holidays. And so there's no problem with us in terms of declaring new holidays. could declare the holiday, that's fine. But let's find one that we can eliminate, not just add to them, because this will get out of hand. Like what the previous senators had mentioned earlier, could easily get out of hand. And like I mentioned, there's a significant cost. The third point or suggestion I'd like to make, Madam President, is that no new public and bank holiday can be declared without the agreement of the tripartite partners, perhaps through the Labor Advisory Board. Again, we are the ones who are affected. It does have an impact. I would hope that we could be brought into this process a little more than we have. As I mentioned, Madam President, our issue with this bill is we support all the contributions. We appreciate all the contributions of Mr. Price. I don't think anybody could quarrel with that. But we would like that there's a process that we go about for it, that we look at the cost implications of it. We are not an island economy where we have to go there and compete with others. We are not in isolation. Everything has implications. And so I would hope that through these consultations, before this type of declaration in the future is made, that perhaps we could talk about these issues and come up with something that is acceptable to the parties who will be affected. Thank you, Madam President.